Hi Taurus, this is Amanda Nardozzi. This reading is going to be for April 22nd to April 28th. There is a full moon in Scorpio happening on the 23rd, so just be on the lookout for that. Other than that, we're going to jump right into your reading. This one is going to be a little bit more of a free flow, so we're going to start with tarot, and then we're going to branch off into some oracle cards and see what kind of messages you got going on this week. Let's see here for our Taurus friends. As always, connect with your angels, your spirit guides. Thank you to my own for helping direct this reading. Okay. So moving forward, I'm getting the feeling of like making empowering choices, maybe in positions where you haven't felt empowered before. The focal point of this reading is the Nine of Pentacles. Now, the Nine of Pentacles talks about moving with ease, moving with grace. I'm actually getting that this has been a challenging time for you, Taurus, and that you are, this is almost like the goal. This is what you're longing for. You're wanting to move with ease and grace and comfortability. I think that's a word, comfortability. It's like you want that ease of comfort, and it's almost like decisions need to be made. Um, with the Temperance card in the Sun, you have hope for this long-term goal coming to fruition. Whatever it is that you're creating or working towards, it's something that you recognize needs to take patience, but you're having a lot of optimism towards it. There's an energy of, embracing the direction you're meant to go in, but at the same time, working with the present, working with the moment and the now. Like Taurus is operating on the earth in the material realm. So I feel like regardless of where Taurus is in your chart, if you're in your big three especially, you're kind of used to embracing this energy or harnessing this practicality mind. But temperance here is almost like you're waiting for something or you're waiting on a goal, and it's like there's like a manifestation happening. It's like you're experiencing the magic of this manifestation, but it's definitely something that's a little bit slower than you expected. The sun is shining opportunities on it. I feel like, this is something like, again, it's almost like you can't rush this. You can't rush your magnificence, you can't rush your progress. And again, this is something that you're aware of, that you're understanding of, but this Nine of Pentacles still feels very much like a goal or something that like you're like, okay, like this is something that I want to grab onto. This is energy that I would like to feel in this present moment. And it's like, how can I move things around in my life to where I am moving from a position of ease and grace? You have Seven of Swords and you have the Page of Pentacles. So it's almost like with this Seven of Swords, I do feel like there are things in your life that are taking up energy at this time. And it's more of like, I need to direct my focus to something else. Some of you might have a habit of looking at the negative side of things, or when you're around certain energies and it's like, it's almost like you base your thinking or your mentality off of this negative energy that's around, when really you need to be focusing on the sun energy. And again, this is something that you recognize. This is something that you're working towards. This Seven of Swords is saying there are things trying to steal my attention. Now, the question here being presented by Spirit is, now do you let them? Is that question. So the Seven of Swords, he's solo and he's making his move and he knows exactly what he's doing. This card often depicts deception and thievery, and I'm hearing like a denial from it too. It could be denial, but there's also this energy of like him looking back. He's looking back at this these, not circus tents. I don't know why I'm getting circus tents, but it's more of like an army. The traditional interpretation of this is looking back and seeing the army. And it's almost like movement is required on your part. So this, whatever he's doing, this is energy that you're embracing. And it's almost like, try not to look back at the Two of Swords that you needed to leave behind. This is like, it's almost like you're recognizing things can't be perfect for you, and that's okay. It's almost like, again, you're kind of ease and grace, rolling with the flow, rolling with those punches. And I don't know, it's that practicality mindset that you're bringing to manifesting your dreams. But the Seven of Swords, again, just says, turning your focus away from things that you can't control or just negative thinkers, naysayers in general. This is like, you might have some of those energies in your life vying for your attention, and Spirit's like, turn a side eye. Like, you can give them a little side eye and be like, okay, but like, don't give them too much of your attention, because again, you're in your ease and grace period of, okay, well, let me step into my power and let me make sure that I'm making moves or strides towards what it is that I want without focusing too much on people who don't believe in me or my skills. You have frog spirit clear out the clutter. So this, it's almost like spirit's like, this is the age or this is the time to do this. So for whatever reason, I'm getting that maybe you've let things sit around for too long. Like maybe you might actually have to clean house. But frog spirit is clearing out like the physical clutter as well as the spiritual clutter. So if you've been sitting on housework for a while, needing to do that, this is that energy to step up, because cleaning your physical space often does clear our spiritual space as well. But there's also a little bit of like, if you do Reiki sessions or like if you need to go get Reiki from somebody, I feel like that's something that would benefit you at this time, that would help lend some confidence to your ease and grace, is clearing out that spiritual energy. And whatever I'm hearing, like for movement, it's movement for some of you. So like doing yoga, somatic, I'm seeing like a lot of somatic movement. So if you're somebody who's been looking into that recently, or like seeing reels on like Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or something of people doing that, you can try that. But it's almost like getting that energy flowing through like some type of somatic movement. If you're not sure, like I said, look that up, because it's really awesome. It's really amazing. There's a lot of cards here, so I'm just going to pull what was on top. Transformation, Taurus. So things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. So it's almost like you're stepping up for yourself. I'm hearing that you're standing up for yourself in situations where maybe it's almost like something's becoming suddenly clear to you and you're getting an aha moment. And this is leading to a transformation. This is leading to you stepping into your power. And it's almost like an energy shift or an energy redirection, but it's in a more positive or more empowering state. It's feeling more empowered. It's feeling like you're in a better position to make moves towards what you want to manifest. But this transformation really does feel like, okay, I'm coming out into the open. I hear some of you are coming out of your shell, and it's almost like you're giving yourself enough time and grace to do that. You're doing so in your own way. And it's a very beautiful process. I am seeing kind of like a caterpillar to like a moth or a butterfly type of situation. I don't know why specifically moth is coming through. I feel like butterflies sometimes are very flashy, but I can't help but feel like you're like, they're bringing up moth specifically for a reason. And maybe we'll get to that, maybe in the spirit animal oracle. I do feel like something else is going to come up, but the moth spirit, it almost like is like, it's like, like they say like something like a moth to a flame, and how that can be very destructive, but it's almost like a moth to a light source. Like the flame doesn't burn you up like it would to a moth. It feels more like a positive parallel or a positive symbol of like you are drawn to your dreams like moth to a flame. So it's coming to you no matter which avenue or which path you take. It's just a matter of, how do you want this next phase to look? How do you want to get there? How do you want to manifest? And you're making empowering choices to get to that point. But it's almost like Spirit saying it's just a matter of when. It's not necessary to determine if it's going to happen, if that makes sense. It's a matter of when, not a matter of if. So just keep that in mind, Taurus, that you're well on your way for that. We also have healing energy. So there's like, I'm hearing like you have a bright future ahead. There's like this brightness ahead. And it's almost like maybe something came into your life like a wrecking ball almost. Like I'm hearing, I came in like a wrecking ball. Right as I said that, I looked and it was 10:10 on the on my screen. So for some of you, it might have been like a disastrous tower moment, or something had happened, or some type of restructuring needed to be done. So then once it fell away and once it fell apart, you're making room for this healing energy to come in so that you can make yourself, this next phase of your life is almost like you're remaking yourself into something new. You're making yourself into something more powerful, but something more on your own terms, I'm hearing, because like you're making that choice to get there. Right? And then Cobra. I'm going to pull the book on Cobra. It's been a while since I've used this deck, and I also find that the book itself, like it talks about like it has very powerful descriptions. We're working with fire. You pull to the fire side of the book. Then I'm going to pull up Cobra for you. Pausing, waiting, the inner teacher. The cobra represents a teacher or spiritual guardian. The cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. The essence of the cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher, and manifests externally in those special guides who've led us along our path. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When in balance, a student of life, humble and wise. When out of balance, it's a know-it-all and egocentric. To bring into balance, taking a class or studying. So specifically, I feel like this is something that's coming up from within. I'm not sure if it's necessarily something that needs to be brought into balance. You could be studying something right now, or whatever this next phase is could allow you to study more. There is this energy of, this inner teacher coming up to guide. This is almost like your higher self, or like meeting I'm hearing that some of you are meeting your higher self for the first time. Some of you are recognizing your power and making power moves for the first time in a very long time. But it's almost like you recognize that this tower moment, or that this restructuring that you just had to do, it's almost like this thing that came through and struck your life with such profound, with like a such profound definition, I guess you could say. Like, whatever came to rock your world, you knew it was a positive change, and it was meant to be a positive change, and you're recognizing this. But there is this energy coming up of, I understand that certain things needed to fall away so that this new structure could come into place. Does that make sense? It's almost like this new thing had to happen. Some of you could be getting new careers or new jobs. Some of you are actually, it might seem like you're veering off the path by making these decisions, but it comes full circle because you're still dedicated to your goal. Like I said, there's a moth spirit here that's like, you are drawn to your dreams like a flame, like it's coming to you, but it almost feels like a magnet, like the flames are coming to you. So you are going towards your dreams, and the dreams are, I'm getting that, like I'm hearing like the phrase rushing to you. They are rushing to you. It's just, again, it's going to take a little bit of patience and a little bit more time in order to truly call it, like, in order for it to actually manifest and take hold in your life in the form of the material, right? So it's like you feel the energy shifting and it's coming. It's just a matter, like I said, of the waiting game. And I'm hearing progress. And they're saying something about progress being a virtue, but it's almost like you're recognizing progress and you are celebrating in progress and seeing hope in that progress. So we're going to pull some more tarot, and we're going to see what the next steps look like, or what this outcome is, anything else we need to look at for the journey ahead. Death. Transformation. This is the transformative period of letting something old die, being rebirthed into something new. So like I said, there was some type of a tower moment. There's something that rocked your world, and now you are undergoing like this transformative lesson almost of like, let me take my power back. Let me decide how this next phase is going to look for me. Again, that cobra is coming through of like my lessons. It's almost like you're teaching yourself these lessons. Like, sometimes like external things are happening, and then that, like, we notice something very clearly in front of us, and we're like, oh, that is very clearly a lesson, a situation that I've been put in. But it's almost like this situation, it's almost like you've acted, or something on the outside has happened, but then you are left to reflect and call back your power in kind of like your little hermit mode. And then you're like, okay, what does this mean? And it's almost like you're meant to draw your own teachings from the situation. Does that make sense? Like, sometimes they're very distinct, like, specific lessons to learn, and sometimes it's almost like something is being pulled up from within of, okay, well, I'm drawing my own conclusions as to what I've learned from this scenario. What have I learned from this? Again, it's like a very empowering thing of what I want my like next phase to look like. How do I want to restructure things? There's just an energy of rebirth here. And then 2 more cards for us, please. More restructuring, friends. We already talked about the tower, so that doesn't mean that you're going to have another tower moment later. This is literally, I'm getting that it's just the remnants. So this is just the remnants of restructuring. Some of you, I'm hearing some of you might need to do this restructuring. Some of you might actually get this tower moment, actually. But for a lot of you, I feel like this tower moment already happened. But for some of you, I'm getting like, there's like a certain section of you that are watching this that are like, oh, this tower moment, I feel it coming. I feel it about to happen. And it's almost like, again, just understand that all this energy is something to be embraced. It's almost like you're clearing out the old, you're welcoming in something new. I do feel like even though external events are happening, you are making empowering choices. You're making choices based on your circumstances, yes, but it's almost like, I have my other goals in mind. I see you drawing your manifestations close, again, like a moth to a flame, but in like the greatest and most brightest way. This tower moment just says there's more restructuring to be done. There's more, for those of you who are already on this journey of restructuring, it's almost like you need to find more of a structure, or it's like you need to get more of I'm not going to say like a set schedule going or like a solid plan, but it's almost like you need to get something, more concrete in place, but I feel like you're already working on this. This is already something that you've started, and this is just an extension of that energy of like, okay, like this is not an overnight process of this restructuring. This is something that you are constantly going to have to find a balance with. And then the Seven of Wands. Sorry, I have my corgi here is asking for attention. He's really cute. We have the Seven of Wands here, and the Seven of Wands talks about being defensive and protecting your energy. Not defensive in a bad way, though it can be defense, like overly defensive, but this is protecting something. You are in a protection mode, and that's why you have to restructure, because it's like, okay, I have things that I need to protect. It's almost like some of you are taking care of children and like you can't afford to completely chase after your dreams because you have children. Or it's almost like, you know, I'm meant to break away from these energies, but I am doing so at my own pace, or I'm doing like I'm taking on this temperance, patience energy for the sake of my children. Or for a lot of you, it's not even for children at all. It's literally just for the sake of me and, you know, things that I like. It's almost like, you know, it's almost like you were going against this energy before and you're choosing to slowly extricate yourself. And you're like, okay, well, I'm going to extract from this situation. I'm going to gain a bird's eye perspective and like slowly work towards, again, that more ease and grace. But this is in itself an act of love for yourself. This is an act of self-service. This is an act of protection. I do see this being in more positive light of like, I need to serve myself here. I need to protect myself. So this is getting clear on your own boundaries. I do see Seven of Wands as not only a protecting yourself type of card, but I see it as a boundaries card as well. It is kind of similar to the Nine of Wands, but I see the Seven of Wands as being more active in this of, okay, let me take into consideration everything that I value. That way I can get clear and confident on what I'm working towards. So that being said, I'm going to roll the dice and see if we have any other messages for you, Taurus. We have 770, so 770. I'm pulling from Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray, and I'll always say these messages twice. God is saying yes, go, move forward, take action. One more time, God is saying yes, go, move forward, take action. So if that's any more confirmation that you needed, there it is. So that being said, Taurus, I hope this helped you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do weeklies. I do collectives sprinkled in between. And yeah, I'm open for personal readings, so definitely reach out through my website. That being said, I love you. I love you. I love you. I'll see you next week. Bye.